to another edition of JTJU, where we all try to be just a little better at the game of Clash of Clans. I got another Clan War Tactics for you, this time for the Town Hall 8 posse. We're taking a look at what to do now that the dragons have been nerfed, and I think this is part of the answer with a hog action for those max Town Hall 8s. Basically, it's 3 golems with an earthquake to open up the base, but before we get into the details of the attack, let's give a high five out to our backup band, Shun. Why? Because they're singing about earthquakes. They're from Kansas City, where I was working while they were there, and they're awesome. What more do you need? Let's get to the first attack. Alright, let's ask our first question. Is it the right style? Now on this base, 3-go EQ is looking for, first of all, is it hard to hog, right? If it is, you probably would usually go to hogging if it's easy. And in this case, this one's borderline. I think it could be hogged. And it also, the other thing you look for with 3-go EQ is when you drop the earthquake somewhere on the base, that the remaining base wall structures are only probably 2 to 3 boxes, maybe 4 left, so that your troops can just roll and walk through everything. And this one actually won't fit that, but they hit it anyway. And Clan Hunter is the guy that really does this well for our clan at JTJ. Still, I'm going to give him a yellow because there's so many boxes left after the EQ. Let's go to the next point. Next point is where to earthquake, which also implies where you're going to attack from, the attack vector. And really there's 2 main options here, up there at 12 o'clock on the gold storage there, or down south on either of the mortars you see there at 4 o'clock or 8 o'clock. And those are interesting down there at 4 and 8 because they open up 4 boxes as well. But notice how more of the DPS defenses are up top, and you get more of the area of the defense open from coming from up top. And that's probably why it made point number 1, which was yellow, okay, because you're getting so much cleared out and flowing so far down into the base from coming from that direction. So EQ on the gold store is good. Give it a green. So as Clan Hunter takes out the walls around that gold store up top, let's talk about the trigger, drag, cluster, and kill of the clan castle. He uses 1 loon that you're going to see coming in here right now. And that's kind of, you're like, wow, that's kind of risky. What if it doesn't make it? But really all we're trying to do is get out big units, P.E.KKAs, dragons. If it comes out with light stuff like a bunch of archers, you can pretty much feel confident, like, well, I can take that out with my army in the walls coupled with a poison. In this case, it's a dragon, so he drops his CC21, gets that in place where the dragon's locked on it, plus the golems come in after that, and then the flanking wizards take down the dragon. And that's a good deduct. Give him a green. So now it's time for the wipe team to be dropped. Notice how that's right when he has a straight line across, so that if you drop in the middle, the closest building is the middle building. So he gave time for the cut team to kind of move across on each side a little bit. You could also do early golem wizard cuts on the 2 edges there, like 11 and 1 if you wanted to, and then the EQ spell would pull them back in. Either way, just a matter of switching around the timing of your EQ, but it works pretty well. Give him a green on the wipe deployment. Next up are the last 2 spells that you're going to use. Usually in the mid, there goes the heal to help his team survive that initial push point of a lot of DPS hitting him. But then he also does not use his poison. Now one might assume that he's holding that when he drops his loons in case some airborne skeletons come after him. But he also could have used it on the balloon there and maybe save himself some damage. So either way, I mean, I'll give him a yellow on the poison, but a green on the heal deployment. And we're going to have to give him a red on the snipe because he did a little early. See how it came in and all the loons died there before the AD dropped? You should wait till the AD is being engaged and drop before you release your loons. His Wiz flankers, though, were deployed correctly. Notice how they're not getting sniped by inside fire. They're behind the lines and cleaning up stuff for him. So green there. And lastly, his clutter clear team comes in at the end there, down and low, and they're taking out the rest of the stuff. So look at all those units still in the field. Great 3-go attack. Okay, let's get to the next one. We'll go a little quicker as usual with the next one because you've seen the detailed steps now. The next 2 will be 3-go specifically, and then we'll show you 2 variants of that with less golems. Let's get to it. Okay, first off, right style, absolutely. If you earthquake any of those 4 quadrants, you're going to get 2 boxes remaining, so that's great. The vector, he's going from 6 o'clock. Notice that gets 3 archer towers and some other cannons exposed, plus the mid. So I think that's probably the best one of the 3. Nice T-duck trigger with the loon, again similar to the first attack, gets the dragon out, pulls it down with the CC21 from 6 o'clock. Now the dragon comes down, listen to that, the golems come out for the sustained distract. Dragon will switch around and actually target the golem. Now the wizards and witches come in from behind and take the dragon down. Now the only issue he has here is he's going to get a little flank sniping action from that cannon at 8 o'clock. He loses quite a few troops to it as well over there at 3:30. I don't know if I have a specific answer to how to fix that, but the heal placement's good. The poison is not really required, but you know, drop it there, why not? This wizard at 8 o'clock here is a little too early. I would have waited till the loons are down because you didn't have really any anti-air there, so that and the hog could have waited a little bit. You didn't need to put them in because you had, I mean, basically free flight for everything else. And you could have used them for other stuff. But look how the goblins at 10 o'clock are doing a great job of cleaning up the resource, gold mines and elixir collectors. Really helps fix the problem he had down there at 9 o'clock. So again, another great example of good timing. He goes through all the steps. I'm going to give him a green. Okay, let's look at attack number 3, and then we'll get to 2 variants. This one is a kind of spiny, pokey base. It's definitely an EQ base, so look at an EQ in any of those 4 positions. Leaves 2 boxes remaining. He goes with 12. I would have said 3 o'clock's a little better. Notice how the cannons there are a little more upgraded, and you get a wizard tower. So that would have been a little bit better in terms of attack line. The T-Duct is good. He gets 1 out with just 1 giant. Brings it up. CC's out to do the initial distract, and then his golems should come here shortly. I think he waited a little long on his golems. He might have lost some people up there. But there comes the golem to pull it out for the primary, and then the wizards behind to kill it off. So the T-Duct's actually all right. The white team's actually a little early. See how we lose some guys to the flank? It ends up working out. But you want to have it like we had in the first attack, where there's that nice line where you know if you drop in the middle of that line, it's going to go to the middle of the base. So he's a little quick on his white team in terms of his PEKKA. That could cause problems with other things. His heal was good placement. You know, you're entering the base and getting under pressure. Might have been a little further in. I didn't actually see his poison go down. It hasn't gone down yet. Loon timing was great though. Look at those loons. Nothing's there to stop him. He came in with his wizards on the backside. Those look good. He didn't realize that Tesla's out there, but how could you know? And he continues on. So he's actually waiting to deal with that Tesla, and there go the golems to handle it. And otherwise, his clutter clear team, he's got some archers and stuff. They'll drop. That's good too. So again, a good attack. Couple tweaks, and he'd be rolling in the money. But he got a 3-star anyway, so I guess he had some money. Next attack. All right, for our next attack, we're going to look at a 3-go variant, a 1-go. We're going to drop the PEKKA as well, use all those extra slots to get a pre-snipe Loon team that you see here, trying to take out the 4 or 5 buildings there from 1 to 3. Questionable. I mean, it seems like an expensive trigger. I think it's more suited for Town Hall 9, but okay, it works. And then he's going to pull that over to 9 o'clock and kill that off with the usual CC21 column. Now, one thing you notice is use the EQ to actually penetrate and get to the Town Hall. Now, if you would have shifted that to the AD there at 12 o'clock near the King, it would have opened up a lot more of the base, and just use wall breakers to get that first one. So I'd question a little bit of where he placed the EQ itself. But the Go We team, as it stands, gets in there and starts moving around, and he flanks off the sides. So it's working all right. And he also used poison kind of early on the backside with the T-Duct. I would have saved that for these hogs here in case there were skeletons on the ground. But you can see his plan. He's basically going to hog action off the team in mid as they work through the base, and then use the 1 heal for the hogs themselves instead of for the mid team. So I can see the thinking behind this. It's definitely not a 3-go attack, but it does use the Earthquake and a Golem. And you can see how, look how that Golem stuck up there at 10:30. If you would have had the EQ there, that would have driven forward a little bit and helped pressure on the hogs that ended up coming over there anyway. So an interesting variant of it. Something to think about if it doesn't look exactly right in 3-go in terms of not too many boxes left, that kind of stuff. Let's look at attack 5. Alright, last but not least, attack number 5 is looking at a more common variant. That's 2-go, and that's where you have a narrow or oblong base. You're going to attack for one of the sides that are not broadsiding the base. So in this case, he triggers. I don't know why he poisons the dragon. That usually, again, we want to use that for more of skeleton action once the team gets into mid. But the reason why you can go with 2-go is that the base being narrow, you can use 2 golems to kind of keep the flankers off of you, the snipe action from hitting the sides of your army, because it's not as wide, right? So he gets in and he does a good job of using wall breakers. First one you've seen of actually using the EQ deep into the base, we would have seen on the prior attack. And then hog action is basically like his snipe team action, coming in off the sides, because with hogs you don't have to wait for the ADs to drop. You can do it once you feel like the primary defenses that would stop them are distracted. And then he pushes up into the final box at top using the heal there. So it's not bad. I don't know if you would say like, well, could we have used the hogs later? But notice it is a questionable base in terms of like, you have a lot more boxes than 3 or 4 left after the EQ. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes? So keep it in mind, it's an option if the base is narrow to come along one of those long sides and try to take advantage of it from that direction. Okay. Alright, we're done with this Clan War Tactics. Hope it helped. If so, give me a high five out on the forums on YouTube. Or you can just come out to our band site, JTJU Nation, and talk to the posse. Otherwise, I'll leave you with our outro. Good luck, guys. What am I gonna do? My clan sucks. Hey, it's JTJ.
I think that's an all-out attack.
No, it's the legendary JTJU. 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 What? I like my horn. You and this army. Download Clash of Clans for free. Then subscribe to JTJU and win.